Okay, Mardu Witch. This is a shell that we had played a little bit of in Historic once upon a time until it kind of got pushed out by higher powered level things. It's also got some sweet Dreadhorde Arcanist synergies, in addition to a lot of instant sorceries for these. The most notable of which is Silverquill Command. So Silverquill Command gives something +3/+3, and Dreadhorde Arcanist notably flashes something back with converted mana cost equal to or less than its power. So if you use Silverquill Command to give this +3/+3 in flying, you can then flash back the Silverquill Command when you attack. So you can make them sacrifice more creatures, bring other things back from the bin, draw cards, give another attacker 3/3 in flying to punch for lethal. So a lot of good utility with these two. We've also got a couple of Lightscribes since we're splashing white for this anyways to allow us to kind of pump up our board as we go wide. So let's go ahead and pop on into some Explorer matches with this and see how this old historic favorite does. All right, matchup number 1, the Playblade. Ranked, best of 3, Explorer, selected the right deck. All right, 1-0 against the Playblade, chat. Hey, thanks for the Prime, Alistair. Appreciate the 31 months. Welcome back. I think playing something like Angel Fire Ignition of this deck leans into a more aggressive slant when the upside of what we're trying to build here is going a little bit longer, being more interactive. Maybe I'm supposed to shock for Thoughtseize on one there, actually. It's tough against basic Mountain, huh? It could be aggro that just didn't have a 1-drop. You're new here, Wilker, so this is your heads up that that's normally a timeoutable suggestion. All right, well, we're gonna get to see how far over the top our opponent gets to go on us, huh? Our main deck clings, looking good against potential Gear Hulks here. Strangle, not looking particularly hot though. Well, shit. Punish for not attacking first, I guess. We'll probably do pig. Their firstborn is too large. Oh, this has a converted mana cost of 6. We very much cannot claim the token. Otherwise, if we can claim the token, we'd be in a good spot here. Well played by the opponent, playing around the second Cling to Dust there. Pretty unfortunate on our part that we drew most of the cards we want to sideboard out in this matchup, but just how Magic be sometimes. We want this for the grind aspect, huh? Can we pull Lightscribe out here? It's not a very individually powerful card. Rather have Fracture. Our sideboarding is definitely more a little awkward here because we like care about their graveyard, but they're also grindy and we want a touch of removal. Pretty hard pressed to trim Cling. It's just like cantrips even when it's not great. We don't want all the Soul Guide Lanterns. 5's a lot of graveyard hate for just their what's it called, especially one of my pieces is escapable back. I assume our first few plays are just gonna die here, but maybe I'm supposed to lead on this one, actually. So if I draw 1 mana spell, we could trigger Pyromancer next turn before they kill it. I'll draw a pair of cards here, I think. Ooh, never mind. It's a wonderful pickup. He says before they peel Gear Hulk off the top. Oh my god, they didn't cast Fable. Well, that's terrifying. Maybe not this one. It's +3/+3 and draw a card. Oh, I got punished for my land sequencing, right? I should have waited. I was gonna draw cards here, so I should have waited. I could have gone Haunted Ridge Thoughtseize here. Yeah, I should have been able to see their hand here. Right, like swept or something and be sad. It's not my fault. Ton of small sequencing decisions with a deck like this. Need to minimize making choices until after we see. They drew up his Gear Hulk. Brutal. They're a creativity deck. Wow. Okay, that's kind of gas. I'm gonna write that down. We should try this at some point. We're gonna play this deck today. I think we're probably torched here, but their deck is sweet. There's a good chance they don't do what they just did to us there if I sequence better and I get my Thoughtseize. Because we either take their big score or we take one of their other cards. I think their deck gets dumpstered by Gandalf decks. I don't think that's true at all. Against Gandalf decks, you just board into like a blue-red control deck full of Torrential Gearhulks and Magma Opuses that should be able to go toe-to-toe in a pretty fair game plan. You're right that the unfair aspect seems pretty bad into a control deck, but you just like have best of 3. Yeah, I think their deck in the games 2 and 3 is probably pretty far ahead against control. And in game 1, you probably steal a non-zero amount of games. Alright, hand needs a 3rd land, but it's pretty good if it gets it. If anybody in chat has seen a draft of that Gearhulk Opus deck anywhere, let me know. Yeah, man, I probably won't be on tonight until like 3:30 or 4. So I'm gonna play this deck, and then we've got a sponsored segment for Runeterra, and then I plan to snap a little bit too. It's gonna be a hot second. We're doing an extra long one today because I was off early yesterday and the day before. You saw it untapped? You got a link back? Loved it in untapped land here, so we can go Sedgemoor into Thoughtseize. Well, they're gonna take one of those choices away from us, it would seem. Taking Agent might actually be a mistake, because they could be the, Leona Reanimator variation. This is another matchup where our Strangle is just a blank, unfortunately. And go kills Agent. Yep. That's true. It's just the facts. Just the facts with J. Jonah Jameson chip. Claim might give something haste at some point. But yeah, our record so far drawing these 1-mana cards that are good against creatures against these control decks is not so good. Thanks, Beck. That lets them trade here. Yeah, I guess I should have... I guess I should have strangled their token before attacking, huh? I'm not really doing anything else of value with this to begin with. You can strangle it right now in paper. That's true. That's true. All right, 1 Village Rites, please. Like to claim your firstborn as my own. Just go ahead and strangle this before they get it back. Not do anything else with this card. They get 3 looks on their turn to do something useful here because they get 2 draws with Fable. They only took 1. That's a little scary. They drew Dwarven Mind, then naturally they have Indomitable Creativity. Yep. Command is lethal. Four commands in our deck that were lethal there. Had 2 draws at them. Okay, I'll get Dreadhorde Arcanist back. You sacrifice a creature. All right, chat. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Silverquill Command was a little bit late to the party, but it might be enough to drag us kicking and screaming across the finish line. Sweet. They only drew 5 lands that game, too. It's kind of impressive for our deck. Fracture and Vanishing Verse both seem pretty good at killing the stuff that they're about to be targeting. Strangle and Claim the Firstborn are obviously very bad here, like we just talked about. Extra Duress seems fine. Cling was like a fine cantrip there, but it doesn't really do much in this matchup, right? We leave 1 in as a replacement level cantrip. It's pretty okay. The grind from Ob Nixilis actually isn't very good. Let's leave all the Clings in. They might have some graveyard stuff out of the sideboard. Sometimes their deck, the Grixis build, plays Liliana too. So, minusing to take an agent when the Liliana has value. Lovely. Show me your secrets. I think their payoff, we just like kind of slowly grind through their answers to things. Yeah, we'll play this tapped, and then we can play Lightscribe around Censor next turn, and then we can cling to dust one of their things if they go to shock it with the Prismari command, which is great. Fourth land lined up here for Sedgemoor Witch also looks good. How's everybody freaking out this afternoon, by the way? It's great to have over 700 people in here for some magic. If you enjoy card games and want an easy way to support my content, we're going to be doing an hour of Runeterra. That's a sponsored segment after we're done with this deck in about an hour. So we'll be starting that in about 2:30 or so. Hanging out for that sponsored hour is a great way to help keep me around. They elected not to shock, which is smart, considering an instant speed spell here would stop them from killing my thing. They have a cling of their own. They're nowhere near close to flashing that back, so I think I'm just going to chill for now. Play out my witchy poo here. Do I attack? I don't really want to run into a Shark Typhoon token. Getting pressure on them seems good though. It's close. Gonna end this game before it starts taking too long. 6 cards in their bin now. I think it's important that I hold up Village Rites here in case they have a an agent next turn. I guess I can't really cling because of their cling, huh? Yo, dog. Pass here. So they're pretty far off of escaping this again. So I'm actually just going to cling to dust my own card to counter their cling and deny them the card draw. So their cling will lose its target and fails to draw. Rites and Deadly Dispute that are both castable here. They could hard cast an Agent of Treachery at this point. Things to note. Yes, and I have a 1/1 to get my Deadly Dispute and Village Rites going at this point, which is great. I'll let them pay the ward. I'm gonna go ahead and Village Rites my 1/1 to start. Go ahead and Deadly Dispute, sack the Sedgemoor Witch. Are they dead? I think they're dead, right? Like it's a Silverquill Command. Wait, so this'll be, so I Thoughtseize for 1/1. My Silverquill Command deals 4. The Lightscribe kills them. Because the Silverquill Command is target player draws a card and loses a life. So it can give 3/3 and drain them for 1, basically. And then the Lightscribe will also give itself +1/+1 that. So I guess it's technically 5 with the Lightscribe's bonus as well. Nice, sweet game. Our deck seems somewhat reasonable so far. Made some mistakes in the first one against a good deck. I lost it, but it was solid. Young Pyromancer, eh? Ooh, so like the base black-red shell with the green splash. We'll take this Chandra here because we can claim plus Village Rites their 3/3. Land to drop into play. Well, that one, thanks. Draw like another Thoughtseize here, basically. Like Thoughtseize plus threat. Silverquill Command actually deals cleanly with this card as well, if it's their only creature, because it makes them sacrifice it. LED. These things are like a mortgage payment now, right? They're super expensive. It's like the cleanest of 2-for-1s here. I draw a card and then you sacrifice a creature. Yeah, cornfield mortgage payment, for clarity's sake. Okay, I mean, Village Rites is good into the stomp here, at least. This is smart. They're strangling. They're strangling rather than stomping, so they don't lose it to a Village Rites. $7,000 a month mortgage. Good God. Alright, so let's go land. Let's kill their 2/2. Let's draw our moose. The moose is loose, Chip. We've got 8 cards in our bin, so our Cling to Dust is threatening to draw another card here, which is nice. Things have started to slow down here in the market around here. Alright, in my neighborhood at least now. Things are lasting a little bit more than a couple of days. They're not going for crazy amounts over asking. They only discarded 1 card there. It's a little scary. That's really good. Your neighbor sold their house for 2.3 million. Whew. We closed for 285 here in the cornfields. Even when things were up, they were like 360 or so. Okay, so this is return you sack a creature. We take the Dreadhorde Arcanist back. What's the square footage? Our home is 3,200 square feet, I believe. So next turn, I'm going to have to chump block with the Dreadhorde Arcanist. That's super unfortunate. We can at least shock this in and cling to dust, but we'll be getting ground out here, unfortunately. Cling gains me life so I don't have to chump. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah, that's probably the playing to win line, huh? Get rid of things that we're not going to be targeting back. You really have to think about your Cling Exiles in this deck, so we use our graveyard with Arcanist and the command. Square footage is you're the entire house. Okay, so that's a Sedgemoor Witch. So I can play this. And then I can Strangle the reflection of the Kiki-Jiki and get a token. And then if they eat my Dreadhorde Arcanist inside of combat, I can cling to dust something to get another blocker this turn. And they top deck the War Chief. Oof. We tried, chat. We tried. Okay, so discard spells out. Vanishing Verse and Planeswalker grind in. So imagine where our claims and our strangles are good, which is nice. I might trim a cling, actually. Because they have, like, ways to attack my graveyard and stuff. I think I like that. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick, BRB. That's like the peak Magic experience, right? You like puzzle your way out of a really tight spot, and then your opponent untaps and peels the nuts. You're just like, it just didn't matter. I don't know why I bothered. It's like, shit. Oh, Fastlands feel pretty good. Must have walked away while we were sideboarding. I only took a minute, even with my bathroom break opponent. Hey, Kenobi. Thanks for hanging out for almost 3 years. Appreciate the prime. Welcome back. Walther Soren be better than either of the planeswalkers that we have now. We can't play those with Wellspring. I'm supposed to lead on Lightscribe, actually, in the face of Fatal Push. This is better in the face of Stomp, though. They both died to Strangle, so it's not really a consideration. With that draw, shock this in and play this, holding up Village Rites. Would you like to block, opponent? You gotta peer deep into their soul when you make that attack, champ. What's going on, 2468? Welcome back. Yep. Oh, wonder this chump got taken out by Scar. So I assume my Sedgemoor Witch is about to die here. Commander is popular in Magic the Gathering because it gave a loose form of structure to casual Magic play. It just like added a rules set around the most popular format in the game. It's like the TLDR for why Commander is so popular. Fire Arcanist back up and get rid of their 2/2 here, and then we'll smack them for 3. Graveyard Trespasser is a great draw here. Cuts me off of my Dreadhorde Arcanist. Liked any 1-mana spell there. 2-mana spell too, honestly. With the Leonin Lightscribe, it would have allowed us to do that. Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. Commander's like, if someone looked at board games, was like, what if these board games cost $2,000 instead of $60? Alright, I would like any castable non-creature spell, please. Come on, deck. Who pays $2,000 for a Commander deck? A lot of people do. You also have to remember that Commander is a game that's played with multiple Commander decks, and like, you know, 2 to 500 for a Commander deck is like not unreasonable. So when you sit down at a table with 4 people, there's often like $2,000 sitting on the table. It's for 32 months, Daniel. Welcome back. Appreciate it. That's That's definitely a spell. I guess I'll just untap one of these, right? Doesn't really matter, though. All right, we found an instant or sorcery eventually, chat. Bippity pop, the fun don't stop. I'm happy with how I boarded here. Let's run it back. It's gonna be time to restart the client so we can have a little bit of extra audio as a treat here in a minute. It's eerily silent at the moment. That's actually a great way to think about it too. Hitting $2,000 for a commander deck is only an average of $20 per card. What's going on, Tokyo? Thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. Well, we're definitely not going to make our hand better by mulliganing against the Thoughtseize deck, so this hand needs a couple of lands, but it's got all of our colors. It's got some good spells, so let's go. These are a few of my favorite things. Gaia's Cradles are $1,200. Good God. Legacy prices got real stupid real fast. I had 4 of those in a Legacy deck at one point, shit. They were sold long before they got to that price point, though. Good God. Just keep their board. Keep their board clear. They have another Graveyard Trespasser. I'm kind of sad. Then they exile the Pyromancer I discarded. I think I'm supposed to bin the Witch and keep my card advantage here. It's close, though. So this lets me go get a 2/2 draw a card, or get a 2/1 draw a card. I have 3 cards in their bin for Crocs at the moment, which is good for us. I think I'm playing this land tapped. It's a little bit worse into a follow-up Croxa, but I'm going to need the 5th land for Wellspring and other stuff eventually. What if they have like a Jund Charmer and they're debating if they want to draw cards or kill my Sedgemoor Witch here? Stone Cold nothing. They have a sweeper? They do. Unfortunate. Art will haunt my fucking dreams, chat. This was the last time we tried to play this deck. We queued into like 2 or 3 beat hook decks in a row and we stopped playing, if I recall correctly. Thankfully not nearly as much of them in this format now, but boy, howdy, does it feel bad to queue into when you find them. 2-1. I'm going to hold on to this for the sake of their Cruxes at this point. Yeah, I mean, I already have four commands. Like, do I need more than 4 commands, Tumos? Punished for holding the land since they drew the Thoughtseize too. Top decks in our more synergy-based deck, not nearly as good as the top decks in their kind of just good stuff deck here. Got pretty outclassed. Yeah, there's a good chance this archetype's just not competitive in a format where red-black exists. Obviously, they had a small green splash here, but by and large, their deck in those games was just the red-black deck, and it just kind of chewed us up and spat us out. And in general, more individual high-quality cards tend to be better than being super synergy-based. So let's restart the client here real quick to give ourselves some audio for our next couple of matches. I need a warning before the close-ups. Apologies. We'll try and provide those in the future. I think it's adorable that you think Grim Flare and Tarmogoyf would be playable in Historic. Bless your heart. I'm really excited for a whole new wave of Magic players to be disappointed when they realize Tarmogoyf's unplayable. Grim Flare might be Historic playable, or Explorer playable. Does Grim Flare see any play in Pioneer? Or no? Anybody know? Someone disappoint me. Does Grim Flare see play in Pioneer? And I can't even claim their firstborn because they have an oven. Oof. Oof. There's like no way we ever win from here, right? Just infinitely behind. Fracture deals with the oven. Vanishing Verse actually does not hit a lot in their deck, right? Guess it hits Fable. Strangle is good. Thoughtseize comes out. I guess this deals with Mayhem Double, technically. It's kind of medium, so you can usually bring the cat back in response. I mean, Goy's problem isn't that it couldn't attack past a Catwin Mega. Goy's problem is that just like its stat line is mediocre. Like just being a pile of stats isn't really good in Magic anymore. You need to do more than that. Because a 5/5 for 4 was insane. I think it was longer than 2018 that Goyf was good, right? Goyf being really good's like a 2015, 2016 thing, right? Someone go look up the price graph of Tarmogoyf, and the price graph of Tarmogoyf will tell you when the last time it was good. Look for the last time Tarmogoyf was expensive, and then go back like 6 months. Because it takes cards a while to price adjust when they stop being playable. Don't look it up, it's depressing. Oh, ain't that the truth? Strangle that one at least. Then we can play a tapped land, and then we have a Moose next turn. Maybe this hand should have been a mulligan. We didn't have any of our proactive plays in it, just super reactive. Goyf is down to $13, and soon it'll be just one wild card. It's even cheaper than ever before. All-time high was $220 on 3/5/15. $220. Oh god. It was $220. And for those of you at home that are new to Magic, it was basically a 2-mana 5/6. Is what it was. I definitely should have mulliganed this hand that we kept. It's just atrocious. All right, let's take a do-over. That matchup seems bad for us, but my hand also should have been a mulligan in that second game. Just like lands and spells and autopiloted to keep. How many decks after all? This to be the last Magic deck of the day. After we finish with this one, we're going to be doing a sponsored segment for Runeterra. Really easy way to support my stuff is to hang out while we check out their latest expansion. And we're going to do some Stamp, and we're going to play some Pokemon Unite. spot check the hand here. It's like another red-black matchup. I'm actually glad we'll get to see this one again here to try and get a feel for it before, oh, just... oh, it's just all bad for us, chat. Has every game been against some kind of red-black deck? Most of them. Red-black. Red-black. I mean, we're playing a red-black deck too, right? Like, this color combination is just, like, the best in this format by a significant margin.
I'm not afraid of any. Oh, I have a job for you.
Discarded nothing. Oof. Things that don't bode well for our hero.
Next time, I'll cut you down.
Okay. If we can find another Thoughtseize off this Village Rites to tag the Goldspan before it happens, the Glorybringer, whatever this dragon's called, might have a shot. This at least forces the Exert, I guess, and then we have to hope to draw a removal spell for the Reflection last turn. Really? Surprises me. Oh, they have Thoughtseize too. LOL. Super did 2 dragon. Want a bunch of cards to play to the board. Do I want Fracture? They have Reflection. They probably have Planeswalkers. I can see this card being good. Maybe I'm actually supposed to tap land so I can hold up Village Rites when we play the Lightscribe. It's much better into Stomp that's going to happen here. Yeah. As soon as I put this into play, I was like, it's probably not right. And now I'm not going to have an untapped land to hold up Rites for this for 2 turns. I think we just jam. I'm gonna chill for a turn, since next turn we can have it up. What's going on, Wiggin? Appreciate the over 3 years. Welcome back. This card is just so good. It just does so much. Being guaranteed 2-for-1 against spot removal is so huge. Really wanted to draw one of our commands there to be able to take the Trespasser off the board. If they don't also have a removal spell here, we could be in an okay spot in terms of applying pressure. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. They could also have Fatal Push here, though. So I could, like, block the Wellspring, take 6, Fatal Push the Sedgemoor Witch. Maybe I was supposed to keep the Village Rites for the sake of resource efficiency here. Yeah, if I'd have kept Village Rites there instead of the Deadly Dispute, I could have sacked that, and then that prevents us from flipping too. Would have been a big deal. We'd have a 1/1 and 2 new cards.
This battle is going to end on my terms. I grow strong. You grow weak.
Okay, so they have to jump block here at least. The moose is loose. Yes.
I have no interest in fighting fair.
No longer have to chump block my Wellspring. Liana. If they don't kill the Wellspring, well, actually, even if they kill the Wellspring now, well, I guess they killed the game. I was say my commands are our best draw at this point. They give us 3/3 in flying. That'll also do, pig. 1 Angrath lethal, please.
Fire, no steel.
No fire, no steel. All right, we're on the scoreboard, chat. The moose was loose, and it dragged us kicking and screaming across that finish line. Well, maybe we'll draw a command at an optimal time this game. Twould be ideal. Free 8th card, good, yes. One Village Rites, please. Deadly Dispute, please. Another land. To cycle Savai Triome at least. Am I supposed to just verse this? I think I'm cycling the Savai Triome. If we draw a way to sacrifice a creature, I'd much rather do that to the Graveyard Glutton and save this verse for like a Planeswalker or something. It's only 4 damage. What's 4 damage between friends, really? Okay, so I think it's Dreadhorde plus Verse this turn. We'll discard the Vantage. Angrath, it only does 2 and makes a discard a card. It can also grab something and then kill it if it costs 3 or less. No blocks here. Nothing there for Arcanist to flashback is what they were just peeking for, I think. Anyways. Good.
For my freedom? A fair price.
So, untapped land lets them creature land the Angrath, but I think we need to just kill their thing. Sorin's not terrible for us. But again, just like hoping to draw a card that sacrifices a creature.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
They plus Sorin to draw a card, but I just get to plus my thing to get rid of the cards. It seems like a good exchange for us, especially considering they lost 4 life in it. We just get to go ahead and fracture Sorin here. Our Planeswalker is no longer dead to Den of the Bugbear. It is very dead to Glorybringer. That explains the plus on the Sorin. They had the Glorybringer in hand and they did not have the 5th land.
I've weathered tougher storms than you.
We're doing Snap after Runeterra before Pokemon Unite. Long stream today. We'll probably start Snap in about 90 minutes or so. And Fiam. Fracture's art does look like it should destroy creatures. I agree. It's a day late and a dollar short. They did not change anything with Snap with its announcement, and honestly, I'm not really expecting them to. But as someone who spent 2.5 decades playing Magic the Gathering, I'm kind of used to playing a game where the company makes crappy decisions that are anti-consumer, so I'm just going to play games that I enjoy. And I enjoy Snap's gameplay, so if there are consumer choices, keep people out, it'll be just the same as Magic. Yeah, unfortunately, this deck was just not great. It's just a bad version of the red-black deck. We kind of just like had a clinic over the course of the last hour on why playing individually weak cards that are synergistic is much worse than just playing individually good cards where everything's a 2-for-1 is basically what the red-black deck does. So yeah, pretty big letdown on this.